What's up, you guys? It's Anam Khan. In this video, I want to talk about the famous Chinese EV company manufacturer, NIO. So NIO has been all over the news lately. It's one of the few stocks, let alone EV stocks, that's up over 10% in the last month. So in this video, I want to go over what NIO did, why it became so famous. I want to go over the current situation in China with all of the lockdowns. And I want to go over how high I think the price of the stock can be and whether or not I personally would buy it. So make sure you press the like button, subscribe to this channel, and let's get started. So let's talk about why NIO got so famous in the first place. So NIO about 2 years ago blew up and it solved a problem that Tesla could not solve. What was this problem? Well, anyone who has a Tesla knows that when they go and they charge, the charges take forever. They take half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour more. This is like a problem with EV cars in general. So what NIO did was they had a pretty creative solution. What they did was you'd go to the shop, the guy would just come, take your old battery out, swap it in with a new charged battery. They had a really easily removable battery, and that made it very easy. So when you'd stop to get recharged, it took like 5 minutes instead of like 45 minutes. And that would be more comparable to an internal combustion engine, right? Like a gas car. So they solved that issue. It was really creative. And that's why they kind of got famous, blew up, and all of that stuff. Now, what's going on currently in China? Well, there are a lot of lockdowns in China, which wouldn't be a good sign actually for NIO. But why is NIO going up then? NIO's up 10%, right? One of the few stocks. So in my personal opinion, I think it's because NIO stock has dropped so much in the last few months that it's actually below the price it was at 2 years ago. Now, because of this, a lot of people, I'm sure investors are thinking, hey, this might be a good time to get in, and that's why it's slowly going up again. Now, how high do I personally think this stock could go? And would I buy this stock or not? Well, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of technical analysis. I've said this many times in the past. It's a pretty controversial point of view I have, I guess. But I think technical analysis is more of a post-processing kind of a thing where you try to explain what happened to the stock. I don't think it really helps you predict stocks as much as people like to believe it does. But if you do some technical analysis, you'll see there's some resistance at like the $11 range, maybe, right? Right now it's chilling around $10.69, $10.65. But I do believe if it blows past $12.50, there's a free range of motion. It could probably go up to like $17, $18 if there's enough hype behind it. But would I buy this stock? Personally, no. And I'm going to tell you why. So, I don't know if there's a nicer way to put this. I personally try to stay away from Chinese companies. And my reason for this is there's just so little control us as investors have over companies like this. The Chinese government, they're involved in most of their companies. They can do whatever they want with a lot of these companies. I'm sure many of you guys remember what happened with Alibaba. Alibaba and the Chinese government, the CEO of Alibaba and the government were having some issues. And well, the stock dropped like over 50% in a few months. And similar situation can happen with any of these Chinese EV companies. And another reason why I tend to stay away from them is because the US and China were having a lot of tensions and issues between themselves. And there were threats and talks about these companies being delisted. And that's something that I really want to stay away from. And that's personally why I would not invest in it. It's also a mid-cap stock in a recessionary environment. So I personally would just not invest in a company like this, in this type of environment with the high interest rates and everything. So that's my personal opinion. But again, if you guys are investing in it, let me know in the comments below why you are and how high do you think it will go. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.